And this was the scene that Evile stepped into, one where newer thrash bands weren't really welcomed. I don't know if they were outright shunned, but I know a lot of metalheads have a hard time listening to bands that aren't pushing the genre forward. Evile started out as a Metallica cover band in 1999, would eventually switch to writing their own music, before finally getting their big break in 2007 with their first record, Enter the Grave, which was being released by Earache. After nearly a decade of honing their sound, they were ready. Unlike so many of their peers, they weren't just relying on party thrash. They had their own take. The album feels like peak thrashing Metallica mixed with Slayer, packed with riffs and dynamics, jumping from mid-tempo grooves to full-speed assaults straight out of Rain and Blood. This album is a front-to-back listen for me, and the only song that I don't really care for is Armored Assault. My three favorites are Enter the Grave, Bathe in Blood, and Killer from the Deep. Then they kick up the tempo for the bridge, the perfect spot for a circle pit. So for my personal take on the Enter the Grave guitar tone, I'm using the Brit tone, which I believe mimics the JCM 900 or something close to it. I really like the aggressive character and the mid-focus tone. I also think they were using Marshall cabs at the time, so I've gone with my G1275 and V30 combo, similar to what I use for Metallica's Ride Lightning tone. To tighten up the sound, I'm running 2 EQs and a TSE 808 pedal, which gives that extra bit of punch. This setup gives me a tone that I'm very proud of. It's pretty close, but it's not 100% exact. Enter the Grave is a love letter to thrash. Evile proudly wears their influences on their sleeve, and I think that's totally fine. This was their first album, and they were still finding their way. The songwriting is sharp, built around strong central riffs that keep things focused and memorable. It's the kind of album that reminds you why thrash endures.